Okay, so I'm gonna try to do. Sorry, I just now I'm seeing what my shirt looks like on the video, and I'm like, wait a minute, what the fuck? Okay, anyway, so I'm gonna try to do this quick and simply because it's like late at night, and I just remembered I hadn't done it yet, and I want to do it before I forget to do it again, and yeah, and plus my voice has been giving out today, so yeah. So last night was Somerset's show. I guess it would be Stories for Monday tour, I guess, because, yeah. Anyway, so I'm just going to obviously talk about what happened like I always do with every show. So, okay, so I got up, I want to say, well, actually, I couldn't sleep. Well, my boyfriend got up, I want to say like 5:30 a.m. because he had to go somewhere. And I think he was going fishing or something, but he was going super early in the morning, which was kind of odd. But anyway, regardless, I went back to sleep, and about an hour later, I woke up. But thing was, I woke up, and I was kind of rolling around trying to go back to sleep because I was still kind of tired, but I couldn't seem to fall back asleep. Well, finally, I'm like, okay, fuck it. It's got to be like 7:30 or something. That's not that bad since I was planning on being up at 8:30. Go and check my phone. It's 6:30. I'm like, oh, fuck. So I lay around until like 8:15 and decide, fuck this shit. And I get up and start getting ready and stuff. And my friend ended up getting ready and being ready earlier than she had planned. So it all worked out. We went to the malls on the way and got a couple things. Got to Seattle, and decided we were gonna go to Starbucks. And it was walking distance. It was only like 10 minutes or something like that, walking. So we walked over to Starbucks because we still had like 3 hours before the VIP. So we were like, we gotta go do something. We can't just sit here. I'm gonna be bored. So we walked over to Starbucks, sat there for a little bit, had our stuff. After about 20, 30 minutes, we decided to walk back. Well, we walked back, and as we're walking back, we're in Seattle, so towns get pretty crazy during the day and stuff with the traffic and the people and shit. We're driving, we're walking, and all of a sudden we hear this honking, and we were like, what the fuck? Well, then we hear, hi, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? And my friend and I both look over, and not making this up, trying not to shit my pants, I realize that in this dark green expedition is the Somerset. Jess is at the window, and John is sticking his head out the window, and they all were yelling hi out the window, and I heard Brian because his voice sticks out like a sore thumb. And I'm like, oh my god, and me and my friend are like, holy shit. And then we're like, how did they know? And then I looked at I'm like, oh yeah, because I was wearing one of their shirts. And it's actually the only shirt of theirs I have other than this one. And I got this one last night. So really, at that point in time, it was the only one I had. And I just feel like that's the only reason they would have thought to roll the window down, of course. Because, yeah. Anyway, so we continue walking to the venue. We get there. We're sitting around for a couple hours, killing time. We finally go in. And once we get in there, they got us all set up for the acoustic thing. John and Brian came out. They played All In, and they played Figure Me Out. They talked it out a little bit about each song, played the songs. Did really amazing, the two of them together. Then they brought out the rest of the band, and we took our group shots, and holy fuck, I look so high in mine. It's ridiculous. I must have been, smiling, because I went, but my eyes chinked somehow, so I look super high. Well, anyway, so after the group shots, we all kind of had some time to go get selfies with them, so we did, and not much really happened, except when I walked up to them for the group picture. It was really funny because they were asking how I was and stuff, and then all of a sudden they're like, wait a minute, you're the chick we yelled at on the street, and I'm like, yeah, about that. That was kind of awkward. I didn't really know what to do, and they were just laughing, and I'm like, Yeah, but it was so funny because we actually were like, oh my God, somebody's wearing one of our shirts. And I started laughing and I'm like, really? And they're like, yeah. So we had to roll the window down and we just had to get, attention. We had to give you attention. And I'm like, oh, Jesus. Well, thanks. Because I didn't really know what to say at that point. And then John was like, I just want you to know I was the loudest. And I'm like, oh my God. Okay. Well, then we take the picture and then, yeah. So then during the selfie thing, I walked up, I went to Brian first and I was just pretty quick because he literally had like 2 people. And I walked up to him and I was like, I just want a selfie real quick. He's like, okay, cool. And then we do it. And he's like, see you during the show. And then I walked away. Then I went to John, I think. I think I went to him next. I don't remember. Maybe. Yeah, I think so. Because, like, Steven was still talking to this one dude, and I didn't want to, like, get up in his girl. And Jess had a shit ton of people, and Josh had a shit ton of people. So I went to John next. And I walked up to him, and he was, like, hi, how are you? And we took our selfie. And he goes, sorry for yelling at you, by the way. Or no, because I go and give him a hug, and I go to walk away. He's like, oh, wait, sorry for yelling at you, by the way. And I go, oh, no, it's okay. It's not too often that guys will yell at me. It's not too often guys get excited when they see me on the street. And he was like, he just kind of starts laughing. I'm like, what? And he's like, you might want to reword that. And I go, what? And he's like, not too excited on the street. And I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. Don't be gross. I'm like, okay, it's not too often that I'm walking down the road and a famous person decides that they need to get my attention over a t-shirt. He was like, that's better. And we just kind of laughed about it for a couple minutes. And I go, oh, by the way, my friend and I made a comment that you guys should have given us a ride up the hill. Like, it was fucking hot today. It's still fucking hot today. And you guys just kind of were like, hey, see you later. And he was like, sorry, full car. I'm like, uh-huh. And then, yeah, I gave him one more hug and walked away and said goodbye. And then went to Steven next, I think. And then just took the picture and walked away because he didn't really have much to say. Yeah, and then I went to Jess and waited forever to talk to her. And then once I finally did get to her, I just took my selfie with her real quick. And then I was pissed because I didn't notice until after the meet and greet was over that my camera must have taken it late because it was extremely blurry. Like, it was super unidentifiable, like, on who was who and stuff. Like, it was bad. So yeah, anyway, so I talked to her, and then I don't even remember really what we talked about. I don't know. I think it was just like kind of like, hi, how are you? Good. See you during the show type thing. Well, then I went to Josh, and Josh, I walked up and I was like, hey, and he goes, hey, how are you? And I go, oh, just super fucking warm. And he goes, yeah, it's pretty hot in here today. And I go, yeah, that's just a little bit. For Seattle, it's pretty warm today. And we take our picture and I walk away and I go and take my spot so my friend could go get her pictures with them and stuff. And yeah, and then the show started and the opening bands were okay. I wasn't a big fan. The rapper guy did pretty good, Call Me Charisma. I mean, he was interesting to say the least, but he did pretty good. And then Royal Teeth came out and the guy brought his drum, not his drum set because he just had the one drum. He brought it out onto the floor and was performing in the crowd. I'm like, dude, go you. And then Handsome Ghost came out, they played, and at that point I was just like, God, I just want to see the Somerset so I can go home. Because I got super tired for some reason. And then they finished, and then Somerset came on and played their massive set list of 19 songs, and I was in heaven the entire time. And then during their set, Brian doesn't normally stare at people. So, obviously I'm not expecting it. And, I didn't notice it until halfway through the set list during All My Friends. He was looking down at me. He was singing the All My Friends part. And he was like, don't want me to be with you, right? And he kind of looks at me and kind of makes his face. And I'm like, hey, And apparently my friend was like, yeah, he's been doing that every song. I'm like, really? I haven't noticed. She's like, you weren't really looking half the time. I'm like, ah. And it just kind of like killed me inside. I'm like, what? And then, he, after that song, I forget what song it was. It wasn't Boys You Do, because that was before that. Maybe it was like Someone Like You or something. I don't fucking know. There was another song they did, and there was like this one line that just comes off really sexual, and it probably is sexual because knowing that. But he like looked at me and he did this thing with his eyebrows, like he raised his eyebrows. It was like, I don't know how to explain it. Like when, like, it's like the raising your eyebrows when someone flirts with you and you're like, oh yeah, like it was like that. I can't explain it, but he was like, yeah, he did that a few times. I'm like, this guy needs to stop before I fucking like shit myself over here. Like, he's like definitely one of the most, definitely one of the most attractive band members, for sure. Of like any band, not just Somerset. So when he did this shit, I was like not prepared, because like I said, he doesn't normally do that. So I was like, holy fucking shit. Is he hitting on me, or is he just making fun of me because I'm white girl dancing over here? Like, I can't tell. Well, yeah, so then they end, and I end up getting Steven's pick, which was pretty dope. And then we leave. I go and buy my merch, which was this, and then we go outside and we wait around a while because I'm like, I have to see Jessica and tell her that my picture turned out shitty, and now we're gonna take another one. And she eventually came out. And like there was a few people out there still, and I walk up to her and she's like, "Hey," and she's like, "You're not done talking to me?" I'm like, "Not quite." Well, then I just told her, like the one during the meet and greet didn't really turn out so well, so I was thinking maybe we could get another one. She's like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." So we do it real quick, but then like as soon as my friend was like, "Yeah, this one's better," she was like, "Cool." Then she gave me a hug and said she had to go, and I'm like, oh god. You could tell she was just so done. Like, she just wanted to go home and be asleep. And by go home, I mean get on the bus, take a shower, go to bed, kind of thing, and be ready for the next show. And there's still, like, so many people she had to talk to. Like, I felt so bad. But anyway, so yeah, I said goodbye to her, and then I got in my car, drove home. I didn't get home till 3-ish. Which fucking killed me inside, because I didn't, like, fall asleep until, like, 3:30, and then I had to be up at, like, I want to say 9 this morning, and oh my god, I was so not ready to be awake. Like, I felt like a zombie when I went to work this morning, and they were like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm a zombie. Don't fucking talk to me today. Give me a couple hours to wake up." And it wasn't until, like, noon that I finally was, like, functioning. But yeah, so that was my show experience with them. Everything from the whole car yelling to the meet and greet to the show to Brian fucking giving me seductive eyes to the whole 9 yards. It was amazing, and I couldn't have asked for a better show for seeing them for the first time in 2 years. Like, it was pretty dope, and I'm like super excited to see them in Warped Tour, and yeah. So that concludes this video, and it definitely was not short. I mean, it could have been a lot longer, but it was not short because we were at 13 and a half minutes. But I should be meeting Paris here in 2 weeks, and if I do, I will have a video up for that. If not, my next video will be June 24th with Andy Black, aka Andy Bierzik, band Black Provides, yes. So yeah, I love you guys. And like I was saying in every video, I appreciate it if you've made it this far through the video and haven't gotten annoyed by me yet. Yeah, I will post again soon.